Hello everybody again and welcome to my YouTube TikTok channel. And today we're going to be, you're probably wondering what the heck I have Lena Quigley from Returning Dead trash here. It's simple. We had, around the same time, or a few years later, we had Toxic Zombies for Gijoe. And I didn't get any of the Toxic Zombies, but she kind of does look like a dreadnought, except she done a lot of stupid stuff and became a zombie. So where this guy comes in, what we have is the Return of the Living Dead Lena Quigley. Lena Quigley, trash. What I think is, if they would have worked it out right with the company that made the Return of the Living Dead and G.I. Joe, because apparently Dr. Mindbender had the same idea, was making zombies to go after G.I. Joe. And of course, his counterpart, Serpentor, and she can't really stand right. She doesn't have a foot peg. Apparently she glows in the dark and all this, but apparently Dr. Mindbender here had the same idea, and kind of how she looks like Zyrana, and apparently she glows in the dark because she becomes a zombie in that Returning Dead. And apparently Dr. Mindbender here has the same idea. Troxin. Now they didn't quite explain the Troxin in Returning Dead, except it's in a canister, and that Tar Man guy comes along when they bump the canister and Return of the Living Dead and make all those zombies. I can see a retired Serpentor here because I got the new one. This is the 1986 one. Looks meaner. She does. Even though this is Lena Quigley, but I think they got the idea from Zyrana a little bit. Stripping in the graveyard and all that and all this and that and all this other stuff that happened in Return of the Living Dead was kind of a little bit weird. And it was kind of disgusting that Return of the Living Dead with all the brains eating and all that, but they did say that Dr. Mindbender here had a sick mind too, because he was their staff dentist and all this other things he had, and he had some crazy ideas in the 1986 cartoons, and this guy purely wanted world domination, just like Cobra Commander. But with her Legion of the Dead and zombies, I think that they would have, it's too bad that the Return of the Dead Company and G.I. Joe couldn't have shook hands, because I am going to read the comic book about where he makes zombies himself, Dr. Mindbender. And something like the trucks in there that makes all those zombies. And I did read up on it. Sounds like a very interesting story. So I'm going to check out the comic books online where this guy's making zombies and the Tar Man and all that. Well, similarities. He doesn't exactly make a Tar Man, but she does look like a dreadnought. Before she goes crazy and takes her clothes off in a cemetery and becomes a zombie with that trucks and stuff. But they said he made something equally as dangerous. And it's in the G.I. Joe comics, so G.I. Joe fan and all, if you're watching, you probably know that. That's why I have her with Dr. Mindbender, because, or of course with Serpentor as well, because apparently they made zombies just equally as dangerous in Return of the Living Dead. Some kind of gas or whatever, and they have made nerve gas before for mind control or something like that. So the company that made Return of the Living Dead and G.I. Joe could have worked out a deal. We could have had an equally as bad movie or something, but they didn't shake hands. But hopefully in the future, maybe they'll come up with something, or at least a heavy, decent comic book we can read a few issues in. But I'm going to check out the one where Dr. Mindbender does make zombies. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have yourself a good night. And she glows in the dark. I just haven't got her charged up to glow in the dark. I have to pick up the other ones eventually from Amazon, where she came from. And she's like the Star Wars guy, and she's not O-ring or anything like that. It would have been cool if she was O-ring, like them, but it's perfectly, trash fits perfectly with the Cobra world, where she will become a zombie. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a good night.